Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. If you are new, hello, my name is Sarah and I post new beauty videos every single week. Today we are going to be talking about and reviewing a new foundation straight from the drugstore. This one is the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Foundation. Now this foundation retails for $14.99. It can be found in 30 different shades, which can be quite overwhelming. You know, sometimes you're not really sure exactly which undertone to choose, exactly which one's going to match you the best. Usually with drugstore foundations, I find it very hard to find a match, and then I'm just very lazy about returning it or exchanging it, and then it never gets used. I was really glad to see that if you go straight on to the L'Oreal website and you click on the foundation, it is super simple to find a shade. They make it really, really simple. So if you're clicking on the website, this is what you're going to find once you click on the foundation. As you can see here, you have all the shades listed down below. If you're still unsure of which one to grab though, you just go scroll a little bit further down, and here it is going to recommend something for you based on something that you're currently wearing. For me, I'd say the Fenty Pro filter is what I am loving right now, and I know that the shade that I currently have absolutely matches. And then you're going to select the shade family. For me, that's medium. Finally, you're going to select the current shade that you're using. For me, that is 240. And based on that, it's going to give you a result as far as what shade they recommend that would best suit your complexion based on what you're currently wearing. So I think that that is such a cool and nifty little thing that they added on to the website. I truly wish more brands would do that because it makes it super simple to select a shade instead of having to play the guessing game, you know? So I'm really glad that they have that available directly on the website. That way you don't have to guess and then have to return or have to purchase more than one shade, that kind of thing. Super cool. So this foundation is going to provide us with up to 24 hours of wear time, which is a long time. It provides medium to full buildable coverage, so just depending on your preference, you can either, you know, keep it really nice and light or build it up to full. And it also claims to be a breathable foundation, which that to me translates into it's not going to feel really heavy or super cakey on the skin. This formula claims to resist sweat, water, and also to not transfer. It is non-comedogenic. It is formulated with an SPF of 25, and it is for all skin types. So whether you are dry, oily, combination, this is going to work for you. As far as how to apply it, you can use your fingers, a brush, or a beauty sponge, which is what I will be using. I'm going to be using my 3D HD in order to blend the foundation out all over the face. Alright, so now that we've covered all of that information, let's get started. The foundation comes with a pump, which you all know I love when foundations come with pumps. Just makes things so much easier. So I'm going to apply a little bit to the back of my hand. It is pretty liquidy, as you can see, running down my hand here. So I'm actually going to be using a brush in order to apply this. I'm afraid that if I use the sponge, I mean, even though it's damp, it's still going to absorb some of the product, especially if it's a little bit more on the runny side. So I'm going to just apply it with a foundation brush first, and then if I need to blend it out further, I'll do that with the brush or with the sponge. I'm not going to be wearing this foundation with any primer underneath, and I think I got a really good match, actually, so good job. Thank you, recommendation. So as I was saying, I'm not wearing this foundation with anything, with any primer. Want to see how it wears by itself first. I don't typically use primers anyway. If I do, it's usually just pore filling primers that I apply right here. Nothing to the rest of my face. And it has a little bit of a scent. Yeah, definitely scented. So if you're sensitive to that, keep that in mind. It is a tiny bit strong, but I like it, so I'm okay with it. Okay, so I really like the way that it blended out with a brush. I love what it's doing too. It's evening everything out, but without, you know, looking or feeling like too much. I'm going to try to build it up just a tiny bit right here. See how that works. See what that looks like. All right, so I really love how it looks. I really, really love the way that it evened everything out. It doesn't look heavy. It doesn't look too much. It doesn't feel like too much either. It feels really light on the skin. Okay, so now that I have foundation on this side and nothing on this side, I'm going to zoom you all in so that you can see the difference. Okay, so this is what my skin looks like bare, completely bare. There's nothing on it, just moisturizer. And this is what the foundation did. So it really evens everything out. It doesn't look heavy and it doesn't feel heavy either. All right, so let's keep working on the rest of the face. All right, so far so good. I really love what it's doing on my skin. A couple of things I forgot to mention. This does come in a glass bottle. You get 1 whole fluid ounce worth of product and it has a shelf life of 12 months. So if you like it, you have an entire year to use it all up. So now I'm going to jump off camera in order to finish off the rest of my makeup and I will be right back. Okay, so now I am back with a full face of makeup and really bright lips. I am so excited for spring to finally arrive here in the near future. I'm like, come on, get here, get here. I'm just so over the cold and it has been unseasonably cold this winter here in the South. So I'm ready. I'm ready for the temperatures to warm up a little bit. But anyway, it is currently 10:54 in the morning. I do plan on wearing this foundation the entire day. I'm going to try to push like 10 hours, maybe. I don't know if I could do 11. I don't know if I could do 11. But I'm going to try to stretch it out as long as I can and wear this for as long as I can. It is a 24-hour foundation, so it shouldn't matter how long I wear it for. It's supposed to technically last until tomorrow at 10:54. So we'll see how it wears today though. I do plan on coming back halfway through the day in order to show you all some close-ups and to talk to you all about how the foundation has been wearing up to that point. As of right now, it feels very, very comfortable. I don't have anything underneath like I mentioned, and I didn't set it with anything. I didn't even set it with powder. I didn't have any issues blending anything out on top of it. Yeah, I really like it. However, the smell, the fragrance, it is lingering. I can definitely still smell it, and it's a little strong. So if you are sensitive to that, keep that in mind because, you know, it's been a good 15 minutes since I first started to apply it, and yeah, I can still smell it. So I'll let you all know if I continue to smell it throughout the day. Anyway, I will see you all back here in a few hours for my midday check-in. Okay, so now I am back for my midday check-in. It is currently 3:33. So I've had this foundation on now for almost 5 hours. Before I get into my midday thoughts of the foundation, I'm going to zoom you all in so that you can get a better look at the foundation on my face after almost 5 hours of wear. Okay, so this is what the left side of my face currently looks like. And as you can see, nothing has moved around. I'm still getting great natural looking coverage. And of course the same goes for this right side. This is what the forehead currently looks like, and I don't know if you can tell, but none of my lights are bouncing off of my forehead, which typically would happen if the foundation is going to make me oily. It would have made me oily by now, but this one is still keeping the oil at bay. And as far as my smile lines, sometimes foundations tend to settle and just crack there. This one, it's not doing that. All right, so there you have it. That is the current situation after almost 5 hours. And so far, I'm still really loving this foundation. I love that it feels so lightweight. It doesn't feel like you have anything on your skin. It gives you this like filtered look almost, so your skin still looks like skin, but you don't see any of the imperfections that are underneath. It's just, I really like it so far. One thing I do have to say though, I still can get, every once in a while, I will still smell the foundation. So that still hasn't gone away completely. It's not as strong, obviously, as it was at the beginning of the day, but I can still sometimes smell it. So there's that. I'm going to throw that out there just so you know. I do plan on continuing to wear this foundation perhaps for another 5. I'm trying to push it as far as I can, but it is a school night. So, or it's school tomorrow, so I will be up at 5:45, so I have to take that into consideration. I can't go to bed too late. So I'm going to try to hold off and wear this as long as I can today, but I can't promise that it's going to be super late because I do have to go to bed early. So I will see you all back here at the end of the night for my final thoughts on this new L'Oreal foundation. Okay, so now I am back with my final check-in. It is currently 8:45 exactly. So I've had this foundation on now for, I believe, almost 10 hours. Yes, almost 10 hours, I think. I can't remember what time we started this at, but I know it was early in the morning. Well, not super early in the morning, but early in the morning. Now, before I give you my overall opinion of this new foundation, I'm going to zoom you all in one last time so that you can get a better look at the foundation on my skin after about 10 hours. Okay, so we're going to start off with the left side like we did earlier, and this is what it looks like. Pretty unchanged. Everything still looks the exact same way that it did earlier. Same goes for this right side. Nothing has moved around. I can't see any changes. As far as my forehead, it has kept me pretty oil-free, which I am more than okay with. And as far as my smile lines here, it has not settled or cracked. It looks good. So there you have it. I am in love with this foundation. I love it. I absolutely love it. I love the fact that you can find a shade that's going to best suit you directly on their website. There's no guessing game when you're going in to try to figure out exactly what you're going to purchase, whether or not it's going to change shades on you. This one did not. It did not deepen or darken or get anything. It didn't do anything crazy or turn orange on me. It stayed true to color from the moment that I applied it to now. It feels super lightweight on the skin, and you get a ton of coverage if you need it. So you can definitely build this up to full coverage, or you can keep it at a nice medium coverage, which is what I typically like to do. This is going to be a perfect everyday foundation for me, especially considering that it has an SPF of 25 added to it. So that's absolutely a plus. Always remember though, if you are going to have a ton of sun exposure, then definitely add to that 25. You don't just want to rely on 25. You definitely want to rely on something a little heavier. But for just, minimal sun exposure, 25 is perfect. I really love the fact that it kept my skin looking like skin. So this wasn't excessively drying, so it wasn't super matte on me. It wasn't oily on me. Everything just looks like skin. I am normal along this area, and I tend to get pretty oily along the T-zone. I didn't set this foundation with any powder. I didn't set it with any setting spray. I didn't wear any kind of a primer underneath it. And this is what I am left with. Usually by the end of the day, if a foundation is going to make me oily, I would have already seen it. I would have definitely seen it along here. This one did not do that at all. The only thing that I have to add, just in case you are of a sensitive nose, is that I still do occasionally smell it. Just a little bit. I still kind of smell it every once in a while, but nothing too heavy, nothing too much, especially now that it's been almost 10 hours later or about 10 hours later. I don't smell it as much as I did at the beginning of the day, but that is definitely a fragrance that kind of lingers a little bit. So that's the only downside that I could potentially see with someone trying it. If you are very sensitive to scents, this might be something that bothers you. Otherwise, this foundation it's perfect. It is absolute perfection. So that completes today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. I truly hope that you enjoyed today's product review and that you found it helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on future product reviews, makeup tutorials. I'll throw some in there, occasionally, and anything beauty related. Also, don't forget to follow me on all of my other social media platforms where I absolutely love to interact with you all, especially on Instagram. I'm having a blast. Thank you all so much for your direct messages. I love hearing from you guys. If you guys have a question, definitely leave me a comment, more so than a direct message, because I don't always get those notifications and then they tend to get a little backed up. So if you have a question for me, make sure you leave a comment. I will absolutely get a notification for that. For whatever reason, Instagram just doesn't let me know when someone direct messages me. Anyway, as always, take care, and I will see you all in my next video. Mwah! Bye.